Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Friday, August 29th, 2025, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $ ORIONNWSF or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got the Seattle Mariners versus the Cleveland Guardians. First pitch is going to be here in just a few minutes, so let's cue up the music, take a look at the thumb, and let's get into the starting lineups. Happy Friday, everyone. And on the thumb, on the left, the best catcher in baseball, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. And on the right, one of the best third basemen in the league, Jose Ramirez. Now let's get into the starting lineups here first for the visiting Seattle Mariners. Leading off for the Mariners in left field, Randy Arozarena. Batting second, catching today for Seattle, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Batting third, playing center field for Seattle, Julio Rodriguez. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, third baseman, Eugenio Suarez. Batting fifth, playing first base for the Mariners, Josh Naylor. Batting sixth, playing second base, Jorge Polanco. Batting seventh, DHing today for the Mariners, Mitch Garver. Batting eighth, playing right field, Dominic Canzone. And batting ninth, playing shortstop for the Mariners, J.P. Crawford. And on the mound for the Mariners with an 8-6 record, an ERA of 4.05, it is George Kirby. Now let's get into the starting lineups for the home Cleveland Guardians. Leading off for the Guardians in left field, Stephen Kwan. Batting second, playing center field, Daniel Schneemann. Batting third, playing third base, Jose Ramirez. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, DHing for the Guardians, Kyle Manzardo. Batting fifth, catching today for Cleveland, Bo Naylor. Batting sixth, playing shortstop, Gabriel Arias. Batting seventh, playing first base, CJ Kefis. Batting eighth, playing right field, Nolan Jones. And batting ninth, playing second base, Brian Orocchio. And on the mound for the Guardians with a 7-10 record, an ERA of 4.35, it is Logan Allen. And we're going to be shooting for 100 likes, 100 on the Dono train, and 5 to 15 subs. Once we hit those numbers, then we'll go to the next numbers. Marine Bean in the building, what's good? Andrea in the building, what's good? Dave in the building, what's good? Mason in the building, what's good? Let's go, baby. All right, let me get settled in with all my screens here. And obviously anyone that was watching baseball within the last few days saw Kyle Schwarber hit 4 home runs last night. And obviously we've had Nick Kurtz do it this year, Eugenio Suarez, and then now Kyle Schwarber. So Schwarber is right on the heels of Cal Raleigh for the home run race. And again, we'll see what happens with Judge and Ohtani as well. But definitely very interesting to be able to see how it's going to go down here in 2025. So right now, Cal Raleigh sitting at 50, looking for 51. Schwarber hit 4 yesterday, so now is at 49. In third place is Shohei Ohtani with 45. So Cal's definitely got to, get it into gear. But again, it's not like Schwarber is in the same league, obviously playing in the National League. And, who knows? Obviously, we kind of figured that it was going to be Shohei Ohtani's award to kind of run away with. And, there's a lot of Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani fans that are out there, deservedly so. But with that being said, these two guys, Cal Raleigh and Kyle Schwarber, are, putting their names in the mix to be in the running and in the conversation, with Judge and Ohtani for AL MVP, NL MVP. And it's kind of exciting to see a couple guys, other than just the regulars stepping up and having a career year here in 2025. Big facts. First pitch to Randy Arozarena is low and at the knees, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, takes a strike looking high and inside by Logan Allen. 1 ball and 1 strike from Allen to Arozarena. 1-1 pitch, big swing and a miss, high and inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Allen to Arozarena. And hopefully we can get Randy going early and often. We're not really getting a whole lot of production from our leadoff hitter, with JP and Randy, but hopefully that will change. And a big hit by Randy on the 1-2 pitch, getting into second and safe. Nice. There we go. And that's exactly the start that I wanted for a player like Randy Arozarena. Normally, striking out, popping up or grounding out. Great job, Randy, with the double, putting us in position to score early. Next up is the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. First pitch is high and away with the 4-seam fastball, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, takes a strike looking low and at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike from Logan Allen to big dumper, Cal Raleigh. And hopefully we'll be able to get home run number 51, possibly home run number 52 here today. All day in the building, what's good? Cody in the building, what's good? Daniel in the building, what's good? 1-1 pitch, high and inside with the cutter by Allen. 2 balls and 1 strike to big dumper, Cal Raleigh. And again, we've had pretty good success against this Guardian team so far. Early in the year, we won 7-2, 4-3, and 6-0. So we've swept them at home. Now we're going to see what we can do on the road. And obviously we know we're not very good on the road compared to our home record. But again, things can change as we go deeper in the season. 2-1 pitch, high and away. 3 balls and 1 strike to big dumper, Cal Raleigh. 3-1 pitch, big swing and a miss, low and at the knees. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Allen to Cal Raleigh. And again, if you watched a little bit of college football yesterday, it was kind of exciting to be able to see college football, even though they had some games a few days before that. But ended up watching a few games yesterday and watched Schwarber do his thing, and definitely excited to see what the Mariners can do here in this 3-game set. 3-2 pitch, and good eye by Cal Raleigh. Doesn't swing at that. Ball inside and low, and he'll take first with a walk. All right, we got Randy with a double, and you got Cal Raleigh with a walk. This is fantastic here for the Mariners early on. We have a very good chance to score 1 to 3 runs here in the first inning if it continues down this path, as long as we don't hit it into any double plays. Next up is Julio Rodriguez. And Julio is definitely overdue for a home run. Could he end up getting a pitch right down the middle to give us a early 3-0 lead and give us that electricity that we so desperately need? Let's go, J-Rod. Let's go, Julio. Let's go, baby. Griffey loves it. And here we go. Julio swings at that first pitch strike. A single right up the middle. Randy hustling, safe at home, and Cal to second. And just like that, 1-0 Mariners. Let's go. Awesome job by Julio Rodriguez. There you go. The thing is, you don't want to, just ask for the bare minimum, and then we'll see where it goes. But again, great job by Julio with that RBI. And it all started with Randy, and it shows you how important it truly is to be able to have your leadoff hitter get on with a single or a double with no outs. And then they end up taking a walk, and then it puts you in great position with runners at first and second with no outs for Julio to be overly aggressive. If he gets that pitch right down the middle, could be a single, double, triple. And next up, Eugenio Suarez. He wants to get in on the action as well. And first pitch to Gino, right up the middle, almost the same spot as Julio Rodriguez. Cal scores, Julio to second, 2-0 Mariners. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Good vibes only, 2-0 Mariners. Unbelievable. Here we go. Let's keep it going, baby. Next up is Josh Naylor. First pitch from Allen to Naylor, high and inside, 1-0 count. All right, Trident's gonna get a lot of use here early, baby. I love that. And again, it shows you, how essential it is not only for us to play like this on the road. We're not a very good road team, but not very many teams are besides the Milwaukee Brewers. But to be able to get runs early and to be able to kind of punch them in the mouth and stun them. And hopefully we get a good outing by George Kirby. But I'm loving what I'm seeing here early. 1-1 pitch, low and away with the sweeper. 2 balls and 1 strike from Allen to Naylor. Let's go, Josh. Let's keep this rally going, baby. Top of the first inning, runners at first and second with no outs, and we're still up 2-0 here early. And if it keeps on this pace, hell, we might be able to get to 4 or 5 runs in the first inning, maybe even more than that. Because if you keep us alive long enough, that unexpected 2-run blast, 3-run jack, or grand salami could be looming. And if that happens, I'm not going to say the game is over in the first inning, but if we're up like 7-0 in the first, it's going to be a long, long day for Guardian fans. 2-1 pitch. In play. And Naylor grounds out into the double play. Throw to first. Got him. Okay. All right. Well, our good luck had to end at some point or another. Unfortunate for the double play there for Josh Naylor. Now we still got a runner at third. Let's see if Jorge Polanco can get a RBI single to make it 3-0, or if he can get a home run here at this at-bat to make it 4-0. Let's keep the inning alive. First pitch from Allen to Polo. Fouls it off high and inside. 0-1 count. Let's go, Polo. Logan Allen, 7-10 record, ERA of 4.35. So I was thinking we should be able to get 1 to 3 runs within the first 4 innings. And we already have 2 in the first. But let's see if we can get 3. 1-1 pitch. Takes a strike looking high and inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Allen to Polo. Let's go, baby. Yeah, that needs to be refreshed. Let me do that here real quick. Good old ESPN on this side here. I got another screen up and whatnot, but for what normally it does it automatically on its own. But anytime you guys end up seeing the scoreboard not reflecting an update on its own, just let me know and I'll refresh everything and it should be good to go. And we are good to go now. 1-2 pitch. Low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes with a runner at third and 2 outs. I got like 10 different screens up, so I got my, mind everywhere here. Back. See ya! And Jorge Polanco does it, baby. Sometimes you got to ask for it, and then you get it. Big 2-run blast by Jorge Polanco. And now we go from 2-0 to 4-0, and we're still in the first inning. Next up is Mitch Garver. Let's fucking go. One of the best starts early on the road that we have seen in a long, long time. Let's go, baby. Great start. And really what it started it off is Randy getting a double, right? How often does Randy get doubles lately, let alone in his first at-bat, right? And then there's no outs. Cal takes a walk. Julio with an RBI, Gino with an RBI, Naylor with a double play, which was unfortunate, but still 2 outs. Polo keeps the inning alive, and then bang, 2-run blast with a runner at third. We bring them both home. 4-0 Mariners. I love it, baby. Let's go. First pitch to Mitch Garver. Takes the strike looking right down the middle. 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss right down the middle. Logan Allen on the mound, Mitch Garver in the box. No balls and 2 strikes from Allen to Garver. You couldn't have asked for a better start to this game besides, Naylor hitting into that double play, but we'll take what we have right now. 0-2 pitch, and Garver with a single to right. Let's go. When Mitch Garver is getting singles, life is good, and we're already on our 8-hole hitter, approaching our 9-hole hitter, which will be J.P. Crawford, but in the box now, it's a Dom Bomb, Dominic Canzone. And the suspension came out for Victor Robles today. So instead of it being 10 games, we were hoping it would be reduced to 5. They ended up meeting in the middle. It's going to be 7. So he'll be back when we end up, playing, I believe, the Braves in about a week. So, again, the suspension starts today. We won't see Victor Robles in about a week. But at this point, we don't need him today. 4-0 Seattle, top of the first inning. Runner at first, Mitch Garver with 2 outs. And it shows you how great of a team we can be, when we strike early. And again, we're very good with 2 outs. That doesn't faze us one bit. And I love what I'm seeing here early. And if it keeps going like this, Logan Allen is going to be out in a couple innings. I mean, he's already having a meltdown here early at home. And if we can have him go out, at this point when he's doing bad, we want him to play all 6 innings, but we know that's not going to happen. But we'll see if they keep him in for at least the first 4 innings, hopefully. And who knows what the score will be at that point. Maybe 7, 8, 9, 0. But again, we'll take what we can get so far. First pitch from Allen to Canzone. Takes a strike swinging. Big swing and a miss. Low and away. 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, fouled off, low and away with that 4-seam fastball. 1 ball, no balls, and 2 strikes to Dominic Canzone. Let's go, baby. And again, we've done this, at home, but when's the last time that we've done this on the road? It feels like forever. And again, we wanted to make sure we set the tone early and often. And again, I had a good feeling today. Had to rep the Cal jersey, and I love the vibes and the swagger and the aura that we have so far here early. 0-2 pitch, low and away. Sweeper missing by about 5 feet. Allen having a meltdown here in the first inning already. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Dominic Canzone. I mean, when's the last time that we actually went through the full order in the first inning? I mean, again, it's like we're almost playing like we're the Phillies playing against the Mariners when it was in Philadelphia. Kind of feeling that same kind of vibe, and it's kind of nice to be on this side of the scoreboard rather than getting fucking obliterated. 2-2 pitch. And big swing and a miss. Down goes Dominic Canzone for out number 3. But we went 8 deep in that first inning. And what a fantastic first inning for the Seattle Mariners. You're not going to see probably a better first inning on the road than what we just saw. So let's do a quick breakdown. So Randy ended up getting a double to open up the outing. Cal got walked. Then Julio Rodriguez with runners at first and second. Single to center. Randy Arozarena scored. Raleigh to second. 1-0 Mariners. Then went Gino up next in the 4-hole. Ends up getting a single to center just like Julio. Cal Raleigh scores from third. Julio to second. And then at that point, it's 2-0 Mariners. Then we get an unfortunate double play out of Josh Naylor, but it didn't end the inning for us. And Jorge Polanco coming up next. We thought, hey, with a runner at third, maybe he can get an RBI single to make it 3-0 or hit a home run. What does he do? Hits a 2-run blast. And just like that, we're up 4-0. And Guardian fans, words cannot express what they're feeling right now. We already swept them, obviously, at home. And again, realistically, we're going to be going for 2 for 3. But if we win the first 2 games, we're definitely going for the sweep against Cleveland. And we're going to try to win, somewhere between, 89 and 92 games. We don't have too many left. But obviously, if we can have a great finish, and, have a, record of, something like 19-8 or 20-8, 19-9, something of that, a magnitude, that's going to put us in a great position, obviously, to catch up to the Astros and pass them. And not only that, give us that momentum that we need going into the postseason. Let's go. Fantastic start, man. I'm almost, I want to say I'm a little bit in shock, but again, this team has got the talent. It's just that sometimes we underachieve, but today we're overachieving, and let's see what we get here against Stephen Kwan. On deck, in the 2-hole, Daniel Schneemann, and batting third, all-star stud third baseman Jose Ramirez. And on the mound, George Kirby, 8-6 record, ERA of 4.05. And again, if we can get a good, solid George outing, similar to what we saw from Brian Wu and Logan Gilbert in their previous starts, as long as he gives up 3 runs or less, hopefully he can shoot for 4 to 7 Ks. But if he has 5 Ks within the first couple innings, maybe he'll be pacing for 8 to 12. And again, we've seen Wu and Gilbert do pretty well. Let's see what we can get here from Kirby. First pitch from Kirby to Kwan. Takes a strike looking low and away. Paints that corner beautifully. 0-1 count. Let's go, George. 0-1 pitch. High and away. Paints that corner, but doesn't get the call with that 4-seam fastball. 1 ball and 1 strike from Kirby to Quan. 1-1 pitch in play, and a beautiful single to left by Stephen Kwan. He's getting the party started there and bringing a little bit of electricity, down 4-0 to the Seattle Mariners. Next up, center fielder Daniel Schneemann. So now with Kwan with a single, we need a strikeout with Schneemann and a double play by Ramirez, or a double play and a strikeout on Ramirez to hopefully keep this score 4-0. And a lot of times, when the Mariners do something great, what happens? They initially, just bang, 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 and they respond immediately. It's like normally when we do something great, we only have like a half inning or a minute or two to celebrate. And then all of a sudden in that next half inning, they catch up. But hopefully that won't be the case here. I would love for us to keep our 4-0 lead for at least an inning, until we end up hopefully adding on a little bit more to maybe make it 5 or 6-0 in the second or the third. Let's go. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 100 likes, 100 on the dono train, and we'll be shooting for 5 to 15 subs. Bottom of the first inning, 4-0. Mariners over the Guardians. Let's go. Maybe the best start that we've had on the road in the first inning that I can remember. It's been a minute. First pitch, fouled off, low and at the knees, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, high and inside, 1 ball and 1 strike from Kirby to Schneemann. Let's go, George. 1-1 pitch, high and inside, 2 balls and 1 strike from Kirby to Daniel Schneemann. 2-1 pitch, fouled off right down the middle, sinker, 95 miles an hour there by George Kirby. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Kirby to Schneemann. Come on, George. 2-2 pitch, low and at the knees, knuckle curve there by George Kirby. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Kirby to Schneemann. 3-2 pitch, big swing and a miss. And that's my boy, George Kirby with his first punch out. And I like that. Bring that electricity, George, my man. And that is 1 away. Next up, third baseman Jose Ramirez. We need a slow dribbler right up the middle to J.P. Crawford, a throw to Naylor to first to get the double play and to get out of the inning. And obviously easier said than done when you're going against one of the better third basemen in Jose Ramirez. David with a 5er, appreciate you. Stacks, Racks with a little Cactus Jack, bang, bang. We're at 5, 95 to go. Appreciate you, David Paca. Thank you so much. If there's a particular player you want me to showcase, let me know, and I got you. First pitch from Kirby to Ramirez, takes a strike looking low and away, 0-1 count. Bottom of the first inning, 4-0 Mariner lead, and again, it feels so good, when things like this happen for us. We've had a lot of ups and a lot of downs. We've had peaks, we've had valleys. We've had a 9 consecutive win streak, where we averaged 6 runs for a month and a half. And then right after that ended, we only scored about 1 to 3 runs for about 5 to 6 weeks on average. So again, there's going to be those high moments and those low moments, but we want to really finish hot. So that way we have a chance to upset, anybody in the playoff circle. 0-1 pitch in play, hard hit by Ramirez, and that is a big double. Quan in there at third, safe. Now we got runners at second and third, and we have to hope that we can keep them at 0. Easier said than done. And up next, cleanup hitter, DHing in the 4-hole, Kyle Manzardo. Got to get him out here. Harder to get a double play with runners at second and third, but not impossible. First pitch from Kirby to Manzardo, takes a strike looking high and away, 0-1 count. Let's go, George. Settle in, baby. We want to keep this 4-0 lead as long as possible. But again, kind of one of those things with the Mariners, with our starting pitching or our bullpen. Can't celebrate too long, and it could end up being 4-1, 4-2 in a matter of seconds. But hopefully we get lucky with either a punch out and a pop-up or a punch out and a ground out, and we can get out of this inning unscathed. Or maybe, we give up 1, but hopefully not 2 or more. 0-1 pitch, fouled off, right down the middle with that 4-seam fastball. No balls and 2 strikes from Kirby to Manzardo. Bottom of the first inning, runners at second and third with 1 out, 4-0 Mariner lead. Tridents up, let's go M's. 0-2 pitch, and take strike 3 looking on the corner, baby. There we go, George. And if George is going to pitch like this and can kind of get in rhythm, 4 to 7 Ks might be attained within the first couple innings. Maybe this will be a 7 to 12 K game for George Kirby. We would love that. Trident's up. Second K for Kirby already. Let's go. Next up for the Guardians, catcher Bo Naylor. First pitch, low and at the knees with the knuckle curve. Off-speed pitch, 85 miles an hour. 1-0 count. Naylor in the box. George Kirby on the mound. Let's go, baby. Starting off our Friday night on a good note. Let's go, George. One 0 pitch. Takes a strike looking right down the middle with the slider. 1 ball and 1 strike from Kirby to Naylor. 1-1 pitch, fouled off, high and away, 4-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour by George Kirby. I like the velocity, a little mix of 95, 96, off-speed pitches, 85 to 87, trying to fool these hitters as much as we can. Bottom of the first inning, 4-0 Mariners, but the Guardians are threatening with runners at second and third with Ramirez and Kwan on base with 2 outs. 1-2 pitch, low and at the knees with the knuckle curve again. Same location and same pitch as pitch number 1. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Kirby to Naylor. Let's get a fucking punch out here. Let's go. Kirby on the mound, Naylor in the box. Come on, George. Find a way. Pop up, ground out, strikeout looking, strikeout swinging. Let's keep this lead. 2-2 pitch, knuckle curve again, low and at the knees, but Naylor is not biting. He's pitched that same pitch 3 times, and 3 times Naylor says, nuh-uh. Count now is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes from Kirby to Naylor. Come on, George. Whitey in the building. What's good, brother? Yeah, Brewers playing some fantastic baseball. Mariners doing their thing. Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be, obviously, Brewer fans, and Mariner fans would love it, but a lot of the bandwagon fans wouldn't. But it would be nice to be able to see some new teams, in the World Series other than the Dodgers and Yankees every other year or every year. That is facts. And down he goes. There we go, baby. End of the first inning, and we still have our 4-0 lead. Great job there by George Kirby. 3 Ks, baby. Doesn't get any better than that, especially when you give up a couple hits. Then you end up getting that big strikeout to prevent the RBI or the big home run. And right now, George pacing for 18 Ks. We know that that's not going to happen. But if he keeps up this pace, 10 to 13 could be attainable at this point. Let's go. Great job. I mean, when's the last time we've seen George, strike out the side after having a 4-0 lead and having that on his shoulders? We're starting to see, the potential of this team, and I love it. Next up for the Mariners, we went through 8 in the first inning. Now we're already in the 9 hole here in the top of the second. Shortstop, ice water in his veins, J.P. Crawford. Batting second, that started the game off with a leadoff double, left fielder Randy Arozarena. Let's see if we can get another single or double from you. And batting third with 50 home runs, big dumper catcher Cal Raleigh, the best catcher in the game. And again, Schwarber caught up, obviously with 4 home runs yesterday, which was amazing. And it's the first time that we've had 3 players hit 4 home runs in a season. Nick Kurtz from the Athletics, right? Eugenio Suarez on the Diamondbacks, and then obviously Kyle Schwarber from the Phillies last night, beating the brakes off of the Braves and putting up, I believe, 19 runs. Unbelievable. Top of the second inning, 4-0 Mariners. Let's go, baby. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. And again, this isn't going to be the only year that, we're good. It started in 2022 after we broke the 20-year slump of not making the playoffs. And I really do believe from 2022 to 2042, in that 20-year gap, we should be able to make the playoffs like 10 to 13 times. And again, in that 10 to 13 times out of 20 years, there'll probably be about 6-7 years where we don't make it. Hopefully we can make a couple World Series, and hopefully we can win at least one out of the 2 times that we might be able to go in the next 20 years. First pitch to J.P. Crawford. Big swing and a miss, low and away with that four-seam fastball by Logan Allen, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, high and inside. J.P. doesn't bite. 1 ball and 1 strike from Allen to Crawford. 1-1 pitch. Low and away with the sweeper, missing the strike zone by about 2 feet. 2 balls and 1 strike from Allen to Crawford. Let's go, baby. 2-1 pitch, fouled off right down the middle. 2 balls and 2 strikes to J.P. Crawford. Come on, J.P. 2-2 pitch, high and inside. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to J.P. Crawford. Top of the second inning, 4-0 Mariner lead. Let's go. And down he goes. That is 1 away. Next up is Randy Arozarena. Top of the second inning, 4-0 Seattle. First pitch from Allen to Arozarena, high and inside, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, low and at the knees with the cutter. 2 balls and no strikes from Allen to Arozarena. And Randy started the party off with the double, and that was a big part of us being able to score runs early. Not often that we're getting singles and doubles with the first hitter lately, and that definitely set the tone. Hopefully that is things that we can see from Randy in the future as well. 2-0 pitch, fouled off high and inside. 2 balls and 1 strike from Allen to Arozarena. 2-1 pitch, big swing and a miss. High and inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Randy Arozarena. 2-2 pitch. High and away with the sweeper, missing the strike zone by inches there by Allen. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Randy Arozarena. 3-2 pitch. Fouled off, low and at the knees with the changeup. Count still is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Randy Arozarena. Let's go, Randy.
Oh my gosh.
And once we end up getting to a point where we're at a commercial break, I'm going to refresh everything. Because I have obviously the scoreboard wasn't being automatically refreshed in the beginning, and then part of my program here is not letting me scroll down to access some of the other music choices and photos. So I think the best way to see if I can solve that is to refresh the stream, but not at the moment. And Randy Arozarena takes the walk. There we go. Good old technology, huh? Nice job by Randy. Next up is big dumper Cal Raleigh. First pitch from Allen to Raleigh. Fouls it off high and inside. 0-1 count. I have access to scroll up and down through the chat, but once I'm going through like my programs, it doesn't allow me to do it, which is not ideal. I mean, I guess we could have the same, background music throughout the whole stream. I typically like to, rotate between 4 or 5 different songs, so that way it's not as repetitive, but we'll see what happens. First pitch from Allen to big dumper, fouls it off high and inside, 0-1 count. Top of the second inning, 4-0 Mariner lead. We swept them in Seattle, and obviously we will be looking for 2 out of 3, but if we win the first 2 games, definitely we will be thinking sweep here with the season obviously kind of coming to an end. You know, not too many games left. 0-1 pitch, high and away. 1 ball and 1 strike to big dumper Cal Raleigh. Let's go, Cal. 50 home runs. We're looking for 51. Let's go. Trident's up. Let's go, Cal. And Arozarena got caught stealing, and he is out. Damn it. Come on, Randy. You end up getting a walk, and then you get thrown out. Come on, my guy. And that is 2 away. 1-1 pitch, high and away. 2 balls and 1 strike from Allen to big dumper. Come on now. There we go. 50 likes. Let's see if we can get that other 50. 2-1 pitch, hit deep into right field, and he is out for out number 3. All right, let me see if I can do a quick refresh here since I'm having issues with this. So usually streaming programs aren't going to have too many issues, but let's see what will happen. I'll temporarily go dark, probably just for a second, and then I'll get everything implemented again. So just give me 1 sec here, and hopefully I can access what I need to access here. Okay, let's see if everything is good. Okay, I got it to work. Good, thank God. There we go. Let's see who's up next for George Kirby here in the bottom of the second inning. Next up in the 6th hole, Gabriel Arias. Batting 7th, first baseman CJ Kafus. And batting 3rd, right fielder Nolan Jones. Trident's up. Let's go M's. And my particular program, I've added a few other sound effects and whatnot. I don't really know when I'm going to end up using them and whatnot, but we got a few other things that we can kind of add on with the stream where I can give you guys kind of a quick peek here. So we got a little drum roll, right? We got the boos for the boo birds, right? We got the dono train, little train whistle for the dono train. So there's a few things in here, little applause as well. So I don't really know how often that I'm going to be using some of these, types of things, but kind of interesting to be able to have another option here or there with the stream. Anything that you can end up adding, to the stream to make it better, obviously is a plus. So, we'll end up taking anything and everything, and we'll see, obviously as, more things are going to be available for options, either me personally adding them or the actual streaming service adding other options. But again, if they're going to add on a few things and give me access to a few sound effects here and there, I don't know how often we'll use them, but maybe a little bit here, a little bit there, but I'll take it. Bottom of the second inning, 4-0 Mariner lead. And obviously the news broke today with Victor Robles, 10-game suspension reduced to 7. We were hoping it would be 5 games, but, it is what it is. So he's out today, first game on the suspension, and he'll be back, I believe, during the Atlanta series. So, again, we'll have to wait and see how that all progresses, but hopefully we're still doing pretty good at that particular moment. And Arias hit by the pitch, which is unfortunate there. Next up is CJ Kafus. And you got to make sure we're not plunking too many guys or walking too many guys. And George is usually pretty good about that, but Gabriel goes to first. Next up is CJ Kafus, first baseman, first pitch from Kirby to Kafus. Low and away with the slider. Should have been probably called strike. 87 miles an hour in the box, but doesn't get the call. 1-0 count. Bad call by that ump. We want to make sure we're calling it right down the middle. I mean, we're 31 and 35 on the road. So, again, we're not very good on the road, but hopefully we can get a couple games above 500. And Kafus grounds out into the fielder's choice to second, and that is 1 away. Next up is right fielder Nolan Jones. First pitch from George Kirby. Nolan Jones takes a strike looking low and away. Knuckle curve painting the corner beautifully. 83 miles an hour by George Kirby. 0-1 count. Bottom of the second inning, 4-0 Mariner lead. Mike in the building. How are you, brother? Can't ask for a better start than 4-0 in the first inning. But again, if Randy doesn't get a double in the first, at bat, we probably don't get all of these other things that happen. So, it's kind of a trickle down effect. Randy got the double. Cal got walked. Julio took the first pitch right down the middle, got an RBI to make it 1-0. Gino did the same thing to make it 2-0. Naylor hit into a double play, which is unfortunate. And then Polo with a 2-run blast with a runner at third. And 4-0 is pretty fucking sweet, considering that we're on the road. We're not very good on the road. And again, we want to make sure we're finishing strong, with these last, few games under our belt. So 134 games in. So 28 to go. So we want to go 20 and 8 the rest of the way, preferably. I think that would be somewhere in that, 18, 19 to 20 win range. But if you can go 20 wins, 8 losses the rest of the way, we're going to be cooking. 0-2 pitch. And Jones grounds out into the double play. Throw to first. Got him. Let's go. Great defense there by the Mariners. And it's still 4-0 Seattle. Fucking A. Let's go. Maybe see what other sounds that we got here. What do we got? Well, we got applause. That one, I'm not really sure if we'll use that much. A bounce sound. A heartbeat sound. Okay. Drum roll with the bongos. A gong. Okay. This one I could see us using, obviously with the booing and the applause. A punch. I don't know if we're getting, Victor Robles. But we got an audience laugh. And this is something they just added today. Okay, fountain. Some of these will, may or may not be used. Slide. Gunshot. Ooh, explosion. Okay. Oh, call the popos. Okay. Okay. Someone's screaming. That's usually when we're losing. And then maybe for the dono train. Okay. Okay. I didn't get a chance to really see what was available there. There's only probably about 3 out of the 10 or 12 that we might actually use. But 0-2 pitch in play from Kirby to Jones, bottom of the second inning, 4-0 Mariners. Let's go. And a nice little base knock there to get him on base. Nolan Jones, I see you. Don't even think about coming home, though, with 2 outs. Next up is Brian Rocchio. First pitch from Kirby to Rocchio. High and away with the four-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour. 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch and popped up and flied out to left. Down goes Rocchio, and that is out number 3. A very quick inning there for the Guardians. All right, end of the second inning, 4-0 Mariners. Let's see who's up next here for Seattle in the top of the third. Next up for the Mariners, 1-for-1 with a run and an RBI, center fielder Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, J-Rod. Try to end up. Batting second, 1-for-1 with an RBI. Third baseman, good vibes only, Eugenio Suarez. Let's go, Gino. And batting third, 0-for-1. He didn't do a double play in his first at-bat, but hopefully we get something good in the second at-bat, Josh Naylor. Let's go, baby. End of the second inning, 4-0 Mariners. Grab a couple more Naylor photos. Now I got another one here somewhere. There it is. City Connect Naylor. Let's go, baby. So far, so good. Let's get it. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 100 likes, 100 on the dono train, and we're looking for 5 to 15 new subs. First pitch from Logan Allen to Julio Rodriguez. Takes a strike looking low and inside. 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, high and away, missing the strike zone with that sinker. 89 miles an hour by Logan Allen. 7-10 record with an ERA of 4.35. So this should be a game that, we should win, but again, we don't really know, what George is going to do throughout the full performance while he's there. We don't know if we're going to have any kind of meltdowns in the pen, but, hopefully, the Guardians will have a meltdown or two in the pen and we can get this dub. 1-1 pitch. And Rodriguez grounds out to second, throw to first, and that is 1 away. Down goes J-Rod. Hopefully we'll be able to get another hit or two before his day is done. Next up, 1-for-1 with an RBI. Good vibes only, Eugenio Suarez. And obviously, when we first got him at the deadline, it was all Josh Naylor. And obviously, Gino has picked up the slack within the last 10 to 12 games. First pitch, and Gino pops up into deep left field, but it stays in play, and that is 2 away. Next up, 0-for-1, hit into a double play in his first at-bat, but he won't do that here. First baseman, Josh Naylor. Let's go, Nails. Got an amazing Jordan cleat collection. He's a sneakerhead. He's probably the most serious guy on the team, but that's okay. I don't mind having a serious player that is all business as long as he gets the job done. We got plenty of other guys to lighten the mood, like Victor Robles, Julio, Randy, and a few others. So hopefully we can get something here out of Nails. First pitch from Allen to Josh Naylor. Fouls it off high and inside. 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch. Low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike from Allen to Naylor. The hammer. One pitch. Takes a strike looking high and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Allen to Naylor. And honestly, if his nickname wasn't Nails, from his teammates and, from way back in the day, yeah, that probably would be the next thing that you would think of. That would be a nickname that maybe would stick. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Allen to Naylor. 1-2 pitch. Fouled off high and inside with a sinker, 88 miles an hour. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Allen to Naylor. Come on, Josh. 1-2 pitch, low and away, missing the strike zone by about 5 feet with that sweeper from Logan Allen. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Allen to Naylor. Top of the 3rd inning, Mariners up 4-0 against the Guardians. Let's go, baby. 2-2 pitch, and Naylor strikes out, and that is out number 3. 0 for 2 days so far, but again, we have a 4-0 lead, so it's not that big of a deal, and hopefully he'll get at least a hit before his day is done. Let's see who's up next here in the bottom of the 3rd inning for the Guardians. Next up for the Guardians, 1 for 1 with a single, left fielder Stephen Kwan. Hit the Kwan, baby. Batting second, 0 for 1 with a K, center fielder Daniel Schneemann. And batting third, one of the best third basemen in the game, 1 for 1, Jose Ramirez. Trident's up, let's go M's. First pitch from George Kirby to Stephen Kwan. High and away with that sinker, 1-0 count. One-0 pitch, high and away. Four-seam fastball missing the zone by a few inches there. 2 balls and no strikes from Kirby to Kwan. 2-0 pitch, takes the strike looking high and away, paints that corner beautifully with that sinker. 95, 96 miles an hour there. 2 balls and 1 strike with nobody on and no outs. We're in the bottom of the 3rd inning with a 4-0 lead. 4 runs in the 1st inning by the Mariners, and one of the better first innings that we've seen from Seattle on the road specifically. Hell, we'll take 4 runs at home in the first any day of the week, but 4 in the 1st inning on the road, magnificent. 2-1 pitch in play and lined out into center right field, and that is 1 away. Down goes Stephen Kwan. Next up, 0 for 1 with a K, center fielder Daniel Schneemann. Let's go, George. First pitch, takes a strike looking right down the middle with that slider. 86 miles an hour off-speed pitch, 0-1 count. Let's go, George. Keep wheeling and dealing. Give us that electricity. And hopefully he'll be relatively clean here today. Hopefully he doesn't give up any home runs. If he does, hopefully it's just a solo dinger. And hopefully we keep it under 3 runs while he's out there. But he's already halfway through his start and he's at 0. So we'll take that. 0-1 pitch, fouled off right down the middle. No balls and 2 strikes from Kirby to Schneemann. Oh-2 pitch, high and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Kirby to Schneemann. Bottom of the 3rd inning, 4-0 Mariner lead. One-two pitch, high and away, missing the corner by an inch. 4-seam fastball, 96 miles an hour. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Kirby to Schneemann. Let's go, George. Keep wheeling and dealing. And George is 8-6 with an ERA of 4.05, but he started off the year 0-3 after missing the first 50-plus games with shoulder inflammation during spring training. So he really has turned his season around after being hurt for a third of the season already. 2-2 pitch, and Schneemann fouls out to Cal Raleigh, and that is 2 away. Let's go. Next up, third baseman stud, best player on the team, Jose Ramirez, an absolute stud at third base. First pitch from Kirby to Ramirez, takes a strike looking, right down the middle, 0-1 count. All right, Kevin, take care. Have a good rest of your day. Good luck. $95 to go on the Dono train. How close are we to 100 on the likes? Hopefully we're in the 60 or 70 range by now. 0-1 pitch, fouled off, low and away. No balls and 2 strikes to Jose Ramirez. All right, looks like we just hit 70. There we go. Now we're at 72. We only need 28 more to hit the goal, and we have 40 in the room that haven't done it. So if we can get half of the 40, we'll be right there. 0-2 pitch, high and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Kirby to Ramirez. Bottom of the 3rd, 4-0 Mariner lead. Oh-2 pitch, or 1-2 pitch, excuse me. Ramirez grounds out to JP, throw to first, and that is out number 3. There we go. End of the 3rd inning, 4-0 Mariner lead. Hell yeah. It's nice that we've actually been able to hang on to this lead more than a half inning. You know, normally it's like, oh, we do something great, and then the other team scores 3 runs, 5 minutes later. So to be able to be in the top of the 4th inning with a 4-0 lead with a chance to get to 5 this inning, let's go. Next up for the Mariners, 1 for 1 with a run, 2 RBIs with a 2-run blast, Jorge Polanco. I got to get the polo photo. I know it's in here somewhere. Where are you, Polo? There it is. That's the one I was looking for his 2-run blast. Batting second, 1 for 1, DHing Mitch Garver. And when Mitch Garver is getting hits, things are going really, really good. And who knows, this could be the game where we get an unexpected Mitch Garver home run. It's not like we expect him ever to hit one. But again, we don't really expect him to do anything, game in and game out. And who knows, maybe this could be the day. 1 for 1 with a single, Mitch Garver. And batting third, 0 for 1 with a K, right fielder Dominic Canzone, who is very overdue for a home run. So I definitely expect or hope that he ends up homering in the series, if not today. Because once he gets that first home run, that second one will be right behind it, not too far behind. So we'll see where it goes. Top of the 4th inning, 4-0 Mariner lead. Logan Allen on the mound, Jorge Polanco in the box. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Now, I'm not doing any of the sound effects. Like, obviously, I would either have to turn the sound effects volume up to go over the background music, or turn the background music off, and then we can, hear the sound effects. But, I'm not using any of them at the moment. So it just got implemented into my program today. So, and again, out of like the 10 or 12, there's probably only 3 or 4 that I actually would probably use once in a while. But yeah, you'll hear it if it's on there. First pitch, low and away, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, high and away with the 4-seam fastball. 2 balls and no strikes from Allen DePolo. 2-0 pitch, low and away. 3 balls and no strikes from Allen DePolo. No, don't worry about it, Victoria. Just glad that you're here. 3-0 pitch, takes a strike looking low and at the knees. 3 balls and 1 strike to Jorge Polanco. Top of the 4th inning, 4-0 Mariners with a 4-0 lead that hopefully will extend to 5, 6, and 7 here shortly. And we scored 4 in the first inning, and it really was Randy Arozarena that got the party started. If he doesn't get a double in the first at bat, maybe we're only sitting at 1 or 2 runs at the moment. 3-1 pitch, in play, and a beautiful single by Polo, and he is hot, baby. Nice job by Jorge Polanco. I see you. Let's go. Next up is Mitch Garver. Let's go, Mitch. The applause, the boo, the train whistle for the dono train. Those might be the only ones. They have a laugh by the audience, and applause by the audience, the booing, and then the train whistle for the dono train. Those would probably be the only ones that, if I did implement those once in a while, that I would use. But I assume they're going to be adding more, and there'll be more options. So 0-1 pitch, in play, and Garver fouls out to first and caught, and that is 1 away. Down goes Mitch Garver. Next up is Dominic Canzone. 0 for 1 with a K for Dom. Let's go, Dom. See if he can get a pitch that he likes. And obviously has battled with a few injuries and got sent down to AAA to the Tacoma Rainiers. But again, is going to be in right field for the most part, sharing time with Luke Raley until Victor Robles comes back in about a week. First pitch from Allen to Canzone. Takes a strike looking right down the middle. 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, fouls it off right down the middle from Logan Allen. No balls and 2 strikes to Dominic Canzone. Top of the 4th inning, 4-0 Mariner lead. Let's go. Oh-2 pitch, low and away with the sinker. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Dominic Canzone. Logan Allen on the mound, Dominic Canzone in the box. Runner at first, top of the 4th, with 1 out, 4-0 Mariner lead. 1-2 pitch, low and away with the sweeper. Off pitch, 82 miles an hour, off speed pitch by Logan Allen. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Dominic Canzone. 2-2 pitch, fouled off with the sinker, low and away. 90 miles an hour by Logan Allen. Count now is 2 balls and 2 strikes with a runner at first and 1 out. Let's go, baby. See if we can extend this lead. Yeah, I would love if the Indians and the Redskins, were able, I think the logos were incredible. The jerseys were awesome. It just doesn't have the same feel with the Commanders and the Guardians. It's okay, but not the same as the Cleveland Indians or the Washington Redskins. And again, the people that thought it was offensive, to like the Indian tribes weren't even Indian. The Indian tribes actually like it because it's, representing their culture in them. So, if it's something where they said, hey, we don't want this, then yes, let's take it down. But if they actually want it and it's people that are other races that are saying take it down for them, what are we doing? And Polo gets caught stealing. Uh-oh. We've gotten Randy thrown out and Polo thrown out. Wowee. And Dominic Canzone on a 3-2 pitch and outside, and he'll take a walk. So we've gotten 2 guys thrown out. Luckily, we still have a 4-0 lead, but not ideal. We haven't been very good on the base paths lately. And good eye by Dom taking the walk. Next up is JP Crawford, 0 for 1 with a K. Let's go, JP. First pitch, low and away with the sweeper, 77 miles an hour to JP Crawford, 0-1 count. Or excuse me, 1-0 count. Top of the 4th inning, 4-0 Mariner lead. 1-0 pitch, takes a strike swinging, low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike from Allen to Crawford. Come on, JP. I mean, I don't expect JP to have a 2-run blast, but, he's overdue for a home run as well. He's not a home run hitter, but you never know. At some point or another, we might get some magic out of a player that we don't expect to homer, like Garver, Canzone, or Crawford. 2-1 pitch, low and away. 3 balls and 1 strike to JP Crawford. But honestly, we'll take anything from any of our players. Singles, doubles, triples, a walk if they get hit by a pitch, as long as they don't get hurt, whatever it takes, to make up for these 2 guys that have gotten thrown out in between the base paths so far, Polo and Randy. Luckily, we're up 4-0. If we were sitting at 0-0, we probably would be pretty upset at this point. But with a 4-0 lead, just have to be better. 3-1 pitch, takes a strike looking right down the middle with the 4-seam fastball there by Logan Allen. 3 balls and 2 strikes, count is full with a runner at first and 2 outs, and gave up 4 runs in the first inning, but has been clean the last 3. So sometimes, you end up being a little sloppy, and that's kind of the Mariners' MO, doing what Allen did, with Logan Gilbert, George Kirby, Brian Wu, Luis Castillo, and Bryce Miller. Sometimes, we give up a bunch of runs early, and then they end up being good the rest of the way. Or we end up being clean the first 4 or 5 innings and then have a fucking meltdown. And then, have to hope that the bullpen doesn't do any worse. Sitting at 4-0 instead of being down 4-0, I'll take it. Especially on the road. You have to understand we're only 31-35. 4 games below 500 on the road, but our overall record is 72-62, 10 games above. 3-2 pitch, and there he goes, and that is strike 3. Down goes JP. Let's go to the bottom of the 4th inning and see who's up next here for the Guardians. All right, 20 more likes to get to 100. Let's go. And it doesn't have to be just all day. It can be people like Libra and others that will encourage, some of the others that are just watching that aren't chatting at all. Anyone can obviously support the channel. You don't have to be just a lead mod or a mod. If you want to support and see this channel grow and you want to see the success that we can have here, anyone that obviously has a keyboard has the ability to be a positive influence on the channel moving forward with likes, subs, views, shares, and donos. Appreciate every single one of you. All right, let's go to the bottom of the 4th and see who's up next here for George Kirby. Next up, in the 4-hole, 0 for 1 with a K, DHing Kyle Manzardo. Batting second, catching today in the 5-hole, Bo Naylor. And batting third in the 6-hole, shortstop Gabriel Arias. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. First pitch from Kirby to Manzardo. Fouls it off. Right down the middle. 0-1 count. Let's go, George. Keep wheeling and dealing, baby. And again, you're starting to kind of see Gilbert, Wu, and Kirby, being the guys that we know that they normally can be. Really, the only guys that we can't trust right now are Castillo and Bryce Miller. The other 3 we can trust at this point in the season. And, we'll see what happens with Castillo and Bryce Miller. Hopefully they'll get better, than what they have been lately. And then we have Emerson Hancock in the pen, so that should help us out as well. 0-2 pitch and hit into right field, and it drops. And that is a nice single there by Kyle Manzardo. And then if Logan Evans ends up being healthy, they should move him into the pen also, to give us the best chance to be able to win. Less pressure on Hancock and Evans. Instead of having to start the game and have to, mentally prepare for 6 innings, you end up having those guys in the pen. They're, only having to pitch an inning and sometimes maybe just getting 1 out and being kind of a specialist for the time being. So, if we end up making that move and Evans and Hancock are in the pen with, Brash and Spire and Bizzardo and Mooney, like, who's going to be better than us at that point? We would probably, have one of the more dominant pens and closer if we were to do that. And obviously we still need those guys to be consistent, but it's all about getting rid of the shitty ones and then upgrading, obviously, the position that needs to be upgraded. We still don't trust Carlos Vargas, but other than that, Dylan Moore is no longer on the team. And, if you actually watch anything on that AAA side, we have 6 guys out of the 9 in the starting lineup that could be on the Mariner roster right now. Like, that's how deep the AAA team is right now. Like, literally, there is 6 guys out of the 9 that could be on the roster right now. And, we'll see what happens as the season, goes, obviously, here from August to September and September to October. Big hit there into right field. Nice base knock for a single. I see you, Bo. And then filling in for Gabriel Arias is Martinez. I wonder if he ended up getting hurt or what happened with him. All right, Angel Martinez coming in. I'm trying to get the photo here promptly. And Martinez grounds out into the fielder's choice, and that is 2 away. Down goes Angel Martinez. Next up, CJ Kafus. First pitch from Kirby to Kafus, takes a strike swinging, low and at the knees, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, big swing and a miss from Kafus. No balls and 2 strikes with a runner at first and 2 outs. Bottom of the 4th inning, 4-0 Mariner lead. Add this Angel Martinez photo to the Guardian file. There we go. We assume that he'll have another opportunity later in the game. 0-2 pitch, low and away with the slider. 87 miles an hour by Kirby. 1 ball and 2 strikes with a runner at first and 2 outs. 4-0 Seattle lead. One-two pitch, low and at the knees. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Kirby to Kafus. Yeah, Redskins sounds better than Commanders, though. Redskins and Cowboys, Cowboys and Redskins, it depends on how old you are. If you're young and you're under 30, you don't really know how good the Redskins were, back, a few years back, like in the 80s and 90s. It was a different type of team. And obviously now with Jaden Daniels, they look like they could be doing something special and battling with the Eagles. But I think Redskins is a lot better, logo wise and name wise than what we're getting there. And Kafus strikes out swinging, and that is the end of the inning. There we go. Great job by George Kirby and great job by the Mariners. Let's see what we got cooking here for the stats with our pitchers. All right, so with George Kirby, let's take a quick peek. All right, George Kirby, 4 innings pitched, 4 innings pitched, 3 hits, no earned runs, no walks, 4 Ks, 51 pitches, 34 strikes, 3.88 ERA, but he had 3 Ks in the first inning, so he's only gotten 1 since then, but 4 to 7 has kind of been the wheelhouse lately. but we'll take it with a 4-0 lead. And then for Logan Allen, 4 innings pitched, 6 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 walks, 4 Ks, so they're tied in Ks, 76 pitches, 43 strikes with a 4.49 ERA. So 51 pitches for Kirby, 76 for Logan Allen. And obviously having a 4-0 lead, that will do it. Let's go to the top of the 5th and see if we can get on the board here again. Leading off for the Mariners, 1-for-1 with a run, left fielder Randy Arozarena. Let's go, Randy. Batting second, big dumper catcher Cal Raleigh. At home run number 50, we're looking for home run number 51. And batting third, center fielder Julio Rodriguez. Another individual that is overdue for a home run. Trident's up. We need one of these from big dumper to get to 51 and another one for Julio. Let's go. All right, we're at 85. We need 15 more likes to hit the goal to get to 100. And we have 50 people that haven't hit the like button, at least 50 to 52. So if we can get 15 out of 50, then we'll be there. First pitch, takes a strike looking right down the middle to Randy Arozarena, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, low and away with the changeup, 1 ball and 1 strike from Allen to Arozarena. 1-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss right down the middle by Randy. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Arozarena. Logan Allen on the mound. Randy Arozarena in the box. 1-2 pitch. Low and at the knees with the sweeper. Missing the strike zone by an inch or 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Randy Arozarena. Come on, Randy. You got a double to start the party. And let's see if we can get a single or double to start the party here in the 5th. Come on, baby. Top of the 5th inning, 4-0, Mariner lead. 2-2 pitch, and a slow dribbler to second, throw to first, and that is 1 away. Down goes Randy. Next up, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. First pitch from Logan Allen to big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Cutter, low and at the knees, 83 miles an hour. Cal doesn't bite, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, low and away with the changeup. 2 balls and no strikes from Allen to Cal Raleigh. 2-0 pitch, high and away. 3 balls and no strikes to big dumper Cal Raleigh. And this should lead to a walk, you would assume. 3-0 pitch, takes a strike looking right down the middle. 3 balls and 1 strike to big dumper Cal Raleigh. I mean, obviously, if he gets a pitch right down the middle and hits a solo dinger for 51, we'll absolutely love that. But usually when you end up getting a 3-0 count, that next pitch is a strike, usually looking or swinging. And then the next pitch 5, more times than not, if the pitcher is off, will be a ball. And it all depends if the hitter has patience to take it or not. So we'll see what we get here from Cal Raleigh. I mean, obviously we want the big home runs, but we want guys on base. So especially when we've had Randy Arozarena and Jorge Polanco thrown out in between the bases, trying to steal from first to second. So top of the 5th inning, 4-0, Mariner lead. 3-1 pitch, and just like I said, pitch number 5 typically is a walk if you're patient enough to take it, and it is. There we go. Nice job by Cal Raleigh, not wasting, that at bat and trying to be a hero. Great job. Cal the first. Next up is Julio Rodriguez. First pitch, low and at the knees. If that was at the beginning of the year, he definitely would have swung at that. Julio's patience needs to be studied. He's done a great job in the second half of the season like he always does. 1-0 count. A 300-plus hitter, after the All-Star break. We just need him to be a 300 hitter in the first half of the season. And if he can put a full season together, he easily can have a 30-30, 40-40, and then maybe down the road, maybe even a 50-50 season, maybe once, before his career is up. I wouldn't expect him to hit 50 home runs and have 50 stolen bags multiple times, like maybe once if he were to be able to continue to get better, but he'll never be able to hit that number, or even 40-40 for that matter, if you're not good in the beginning and the end of the year, after the All-Star break and before, but he's good enough definitely to be in that 20 to 29 home run, range, 20-20, but for his skill set, it should be more 30-30 or 35-35. And then eventually, if he plays pretty good in the first half, then he can get a 40-40 season, hopefully one day. 2-1 pitch, in play, and Julio grounds out into the double play. Throw to first, and got him. And that is out number 3. All right, let's go to the bottom of the 5th inning and see who's up next here for the Guardians. Trident's up. Let's go M's. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 100 likes, 100 on that dono train, and 5 to 15 subs. I haven't even checked to see where we're at on the sub count. Let's take a quick peek here. Where are we at? And we've gained 2 so far, 3 more to go to get to 5. And we're usually in that 5 to 15 range, and other streams are 20 to 50. So this one looks like it might be that 5 to 15 range unless this game gets a little bit closer. But we'll take every single sub that we can get, no matter what it is. Next up, in the 8-hole, 0 for 1, right fielder Nolan Jones. Batting second, 0 for 1, second baseman in the 9-hole, Brian Rocchio. And batting third, back at the top of the order, left fielder Stephen Kwan. Trident's up. Let's go M's. Go, baby. Griffey loves it. First pitch from Kirby to Jones. Takes a strike swinging high and inside. 0-1 count. Great first inning. And obviously we're kind of just going through the motions at this point. And again, Kirby has been great. You're always going to pitch better when you have a big lead behind you. But I'm not satisfied with just 4. We got that in the first inning. We want to make sure we're getting as many as we possibly can. And, hopefully we'll finish the game at like 6 or 7 runs. Get a few more. Doesn't have to be 10 or 12, but again, you never know. All it takes is one pitcher to have a meltdown and we could have a big score. Or the game could be tied. Facts. 1-1 pitch in play. And Jones grounds out to second. Throw to first. And that is 1 away. Next up in the 9-hole, second baseman Brian Rocchio. Let's go, George. Keep wheeling and dealing, baby. And again, when he started off with retiring the side with 3 Ks, it looked like he was going to get 10 to 14, but definitely has cooled off from getting the Ks. But a lot of pop-ups and ground outs, but we'll take it. And first pitch from Kirby to Rocchio, and a bunt single and safe. Wow. And that's exactly what you do. You bunt towards third, and then you run it out. And a great job by Brian Rocchio. Mariners, take note. I want to see us bat towards, third base and bunt and get a freebie, down that line. Nice job. I love, those things that you normally don't see, Double plays are pretty common. Triple plays, maybe once a season, sometimes not even one a season. And then bunting, it's a lost art, and I absolutely love it when it works. Whether the runner just, runs it out, or if you get a wild throw, by the pitcher, the second baseman, shortstop, or third baseman, or you end up getting a decent, hand on the ball, but obviously the first baseman can't handle the throw and bobbles it, and then you end up being safe. And sometimes if you end up getting that wild throw, a bunt can turn into a double. So especially for people that are in a little bit of a slump, it can definitely be one of those things like a 3-point shooter going 0 for 20. Sometimes getting a couple layups and free throws and jumpers will give you that confidence to be able to fire away, and then eventually things start dropping. First pitch from Kirby to Quan, in play, and lines out to left. Randy Arozarena is there, and that is 2 away. Down goes Quan, and I was thinking Steven would work the count a little bit more, but not the case. Next up, for George Kirby, center fielder Daniel Schneemann, 0 for 2 with a K. First pitch to Schneemann from George Kirby. Pitches low and at the knees with a slider, 85 miles an hour, 1-0 count. Let's go, George. Bottom of the 5th, 4-0 Mariner lead. Let's go, baby. Bring back the Seattle Grays. Love these jerseys. And I think we would play better in those compared to the teal. Teal kind of pops, like the City Connect and whatnot. But, if I had to eliminate a jersey out of the jerseys that we wear, obviously the blue is, kind of simple looking as well. But, we usually play pretty good in those. And down goes Schneemann, and that is out number 3. I mean, we have plenty of jerseys. We got the City Connects, which I love, because it reminds me of like the Griffey era from back in the day, Alvin Davis, Harold Reynolds, Randy Johnson, the old school era. So I love the City Connects, like the one that I'm wearing now. Obviously the whites are clean. The blues and the grays are kind of simple looking. I will admit to that. The blue and the gray are kind of simple, but I don't know. I mean, it's, it gives me memories, and I don't know. I kind of like gray uniforms. It's like one of those things like maybe you don't appreciate it when you have it. And then when they take it away, you miss it. And I feel that's the case. But, and again, it's not like, blues are, just navy. It's kind of regular. It doesn't really pop, compared to like something like this. That I feel that this is our best jersey, based off the look. And I know when they first came out with them, we were a little confused with the black pants. But I think over time, it's kind of grown on us. And I love them. So, all right, let's see who's up next here in the top of the 6th. For the Seattle Mariners. Next up for the Mariners, 1 for 2 with an RBI, third baseman, good vibes only, Eugenio Suarez. And it's not like I don't like the teals. I like them. They give me Griffey memories as well, especially with the teal brim and the blue hat right there. It's a cool look, but hopefully they can, figure out which jerseys are going to stay and which ones may end up having to take a back seat for a year. First pitch from Allen to Gino, pitches low and at the knees, 0-1 count. One-0 pitch, takes a strike swinging, low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike from Logan Allen to Eugenio Suarez. Let's go, Gino. One pitch, high and away. 2 balls and 1 strike from Allen to Eugenio Suarez. I would just like to have the option to be able to wear blue or gray on the road and not just blue, And again, City Connects are usually Friday nights, typically like at home. Creams are usually like on the weekend and whatnot at home, typically with the whites at home. So it's like, you got the blues and you got the teals typically on the road, but I don't know. I just think that maybe we would play a little bit better with the grays on the road compared to maybe some of the teals, but I like all of them. 2-2 pitch and take strike 3 looking, and that is 1 away. Next up, first baseman Josh Naylor. Let's go, Josh. You're 0 for 2 with a K, and you hit into a double play. Let's see if we can get something here out of Nails. First pitch, takes a strike looking right down the middle from Logan Allen. 0-1 count. Oh-1 pitch, fouled off, low and away. No balls and 2 strikes from Allen to Naylor. Yeah, it also really depends on how old you are too and how long you've been watching the team, you know, and the memories that you have from the corresponding jerseys that we've wore in the past. So 0-1 pitch, fouled off, low and away. No balls and 2 strikes to Josh Naylor. 0-2 pitch, and Naylor pops out to second, and that is 2 away. Next up for the Mariners, 2 for 2 with a run, 2 RBIs, and a 2-run blast, Jorge Polanco. Let's go, Polo. First pitch to Jorge Polanco, fouled off, high and away with the 4-seam fastball, 0-1 count. Oh, 1 pitch, low and away. Should have been called strike with that sweeper, but called ball. 1 ball and 1 strike from Alan DePolo. And the umping has been pretty good today. If anything, the Guardians have been ripped off maybe a couple times, you know, on pitches that were in the box that should have been called strike, but called ball. It really hasn't affected the game. But again, it feels like most of the umping through these first 6 innings has been pretty good overall. A couple missed pitches here and there for both teams, but nothing really to bitch about. 1-1 pitch, and Polo flies out to center, and that is out number 3. All right, let's go to the bottom of the 6th inning with the 4-0 Mariner lead. Next up for the Guardians, 1 for 2, third baseman Jose Ramirez, absolute stud. Batting second, 1 for 2 with a K, DHing in the 4-hole, Kyle Manzardo. And batting third, 0 for 2 with a K, catcher for the Guardians, Bo Naylor. Trident's up, let's go M's. And then let's take a look at Kirby's numbers on potentially how long that he might be able to go. 5 innings pitched, 4 hits, no earned runs, no walks. Nice job. 4 Ks. 59 pitches is all Kirby's at. Wow. 39 strikes, 3.84 ERA compared to Logan Allen's 100 pitches with 6 innings pitched. So even if Kirby ends up being in the 70s, that shows you. That's the difference, you know, when you have a 4-0 lead. So potentially George could pitch until the 8th inning if they really wanted to. You know, less guys to worry about in the pen fucking up, but we will find out where he's at on the pitch count, but probably will be around in that 70 range with 11 or 12 pitches in this particular inning unless something happens. Justin with a $5. Appreciate you, my guy. Every dollar counts. Stacks, racks with a little Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. Thank you so much. Every single dollar counts on the channel. We're at 10, 90 to go. Flying Monk in the building. What's good? So it started off with Randy Arozarena with a double in his first at-bat, which was rare. Cal got walked, and then we ended up having Julio with an RBI single right up the middle, 1-0 Mariners. Then, after that, what did we have? We had, a double play? No, Gino came up and then singled to center right after Julio did, and then that ended up bringing home Cal Raleigh, 2-0 Mariners in the first. Double play by Naylor in the first inning to get us to 2 outs. And then Polo, after Naylor, homered to left 348 feet with Julio on board at third. And that's really been the story. So it's 4 runs, 6 hits, and an error. But all 4 runs were in the first inning. And George Kirby has been magnificent here today. So that's your breakdown right there, Flying Monk. 0-2 pitch, fouled off, low and at the knees. No balls and 2 strikes from Kirby to Ramirez. Oh-2 pitch, and grounds out to second, throw to first, and that is 1 away. Down goes Jose Ramirez, and that is 1 out. Next up, 1 for 2 with a K, DHing Kyle Manzardo. Yeah, but we'll take it. Again, we didn't expect us to, strike so fast, so early, but again, I don't know where I'm more impressed, 4-0 on the road in the first inning or how good George Kirby is doing, or a little bit of both, and again, Kirby, and Gilbert and Wu have been pretty solid lately, but really I have concerns with Castillo and Miller, and again, when Evans ends up being healthy, we might have to use Evans, in situations over maybe one of those two guys, but we'll see if Miller can be healthy or not. Castillo is not reliable, and obviously Evans can't pitch on the road, can't find a way to win on the road, but he's good at home, but we'll see where it goes. But I think I would move Logan Evans into the pen with Emerson Hancock. 2-1 pitch, back, see ya! And Manzardo homers to right center, 395 feet. And Guardian fans can take a breath of relief. They're finally on the board, 4-1 Seattle. And hopefully that'll be the only run that George gives up before they end up pulling him at some point between now and the 8th inning. Next up is Bo Naylor. Let's go, George. Settle down. And what did I say at the beginning of the stream? If George was going to give up a home run, let's have it just be a solo dinger. And that's exactly what we ended up getting here. First pitch from Kirby to Naylor, high and away, 1-0 count. Yeah, and it's a combination of a number of things. Starting pitching, the hitting, for singles and doubles, as well as home runs, right? Power hitting and singles hitting, and then defense, and then bullpen. And normally we're only good at like one thing out of 4 or 2 out of 4. But again, now, lately, it feels like we're starting to kind of come into our own. And again, we know that the Tigers and the Blue Jays are good. Red Sox have leapfrogged, the Yankees, who are up and down. Astros and the Mariners are up and down, but again, I like our chances, even though that, the Blue Jays and Tigers might have a better record. If we're the third best team, at the moment, and we're kind of slept on, I like it that way. Less pressure on us, and we can come and, punch people in the mouth, and hopefully we can make a very deep run. ALDS, ALCS, and possible World Series this year and next year. 1-2 pitch, high and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Kirby to Naylor. Bottom of the 6th inning, 4-1 Mariner lead. 2-2 pitch, fouled off, low and at the knees. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Kirby to Naylor. Bottom of the 6th inning, 4-1 Mariner lead. Had a 4-0 lead there in the first, and then obviously a solo dinger just moments ago for the Guardians as Naylor strikes out, and that is 2 away. There we go. Down goes Bo Naylor. Next up is Angel Martinez. And he's filling in for Gabriel Arias, and we'll figure out if he had some kind of injury and whatnot. First pitch to Martinez. Takes a strike looking high and away, 0-1 count. Oh, 1 pitch, knuckle curve, low and away, paints the corner beautifully, but doesn't get the call. 1 ball and 1 strike from Kirby to Martinez. 1-1 pitch, big swing and a miss, low and at the knees, low and away with the slider. Great pitch by Kirby. 1 ball and 2 strikes from George Kirby to Angel Martinez. One-two pitch, knuckle curve, low and away by George Kirby. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Kirby to Martinez. Bottom of the 6th inning, 4-1 Mariner lead. Scored 4 in the first inning, and Kyle Manzardo with a solo dinger to right center, 395 feet just a moment ago to give us a 4-1 lead. Michael with a $5. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Stacks, Rex with a little Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. Thank you so much. You know, and again, obviously, you know, I don't have to do as many photos throughout the stream than I do. You know, I could definitely keep it at more of a minimum, you know, like a photo here and a photo there, and not even showing, you know, the pitchers often or the batters often, or just doing one photo of the player. But, you know, I want to give the ultimate experience, you know, not only for myself, but for you guys as well. And sometimes there'll be 3, 4, 5 photos of just a single batter or a pitcher. And, you know, we want to make sure that we're giving that full experience, since you're not really going to get like this type of stream anywhere else. 2-2 pitch, fouled off, high and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Kirby to Martinez. And again, I have to fully produce the show on the fly, you know, so I got to be able to do that, you know, the music on top of calling the game, play-by-play and color, the chat, watch the game, and look at a couple stat pages at the same time. So, you know, you definitely have to, you know, be very technical with it, and you have to be able to multitask. That's for damn sure. 2-2 pitch, low and at the knees. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Kirby to Martinez. Bottom of the 6th, 4-1 Mariner lead. But I do appreciate that very, very much. You know, I think some people, you know, recognize how tough it is, and others maybe not so much, because if they're not really familiar with the process. But you know, there's a reason why there's not very many people that do what I do. You know, it takes a lot of fucking effort, and you have to be quick. You know, it's not like pitches or like NFL football plays where you have like, you know, 30, 45 seconds, a minute between plays. Like, you know, it's bang, bang, bang. You got to be quick. So lots of, you know, lots of focus. That's for sure. And Martinez fouls out to left, and that is out number 3. All right, let's go to the top of the 7th inning with a 3-run lead. It's 4-1. Manzardo with the solo dinger to get him on the board, but we still feel like this game is in our hands, and hopefully we can end up getting to that 6 or 7 range before this game is up. And obviously we know once Logan Allen is done, then we may be able to do some additional damage. And I would assume that we're going to get someone else, because Logan is already at 100 pitches. I don't see him pitching more than this, but who knows, right? All right, let's see who's up next here for the Mariners. Next up for the Mariners, 1 for 2, DHing Mitch Garver. And you know, when Mitch Garver's got a hit, you know, Mariners are doing probably pretty good. Batting second, 0 for 1 with a base on ball and a K. A guy that's overdue for a homer, has battled injuries this year, filling in for Victor Robles, starting his 7-game suspension today. Right fielder Dominic Canzone. And batting third, 0 for 2 with 2 Ks. We need you to get back into the groove of things, J.P. Crawford. Let's get on base, J.P. All right, Junis is coming in. Jacob Junis. Formerly of the Reds. Yeah, but also too, you know, putting out the effort with, you know, a lot of the photos. It's, you know, it's one of those things too. It's like you hear about players' names all the time, but a lot of times you don't really get to see their face, you know, depending on if you're watching the game or not. And I mean, obviously if they do a close up, you know, of the batter's box, or if they, you know, make a play in the outfield, then they zoom in and you can see like what they look like and whatnot. But it's always good to kind of put a name to a face, you know, even if it is the opposing team, then you root for. And we got Jacob Junis, obviously formerly of the Reds, now here with the Guardians. First pitch, high and inside to Mitch Garver, 1-0 count. Let's go, Mitch. 1-0 pitch, high and away with the slider. 2 balls and no strikes from Junis to Garver. 2-0 pitch, fouled off right down the middle. 2 balls and 1 strike to Mitch Garver. Come on, baby. Yeah, I appreciate that. I have files, for every team. And, again, sometimes I have to grab them on the fly and hit deep on the 2-1 pitch, and Garver flies out to left, and that is 1 away. So sometimes I'm grabbing them on the fly, and then some I have files already, built and whatnot. But, I always have to prepare, I have to make the thumbnail, before the stream. Usually takes 30 minutes to an hour. And then, and then obviously with the photos and the lineups that I have to adjust, I don't like using the same photos every day of the guys. I like to switch them up here and there. So obviously the prep before every stream is usually about an hour, hour and a half on top of the, 3 to 3.5 hour stream. Sometimes we end with 2 hours and 30 minutes if the game goes quick. But yeah, I mean, it's a full process, but I feel like, if you prepare, and if you prepare for success, you're going to be successful. So, and I want to make sure I give you guys something that you're not going to see anywhere else. And it's nice to be able to be recognized that we're doing something special here. Top of the 7th inning, 4-1 Mariner lead. Junis on the mound, Dominic Canzone in the box. First pitch from Junis to Canzone, fouls it off, high and away, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch in play, slow dribbler towards first, lined out at first, toe tap on the bag, and that is 2 away. And again, I feel like, doing football is relatively easy. You got basketball relatively easy, but I feel like with baseball, it's a lot more difficult, and that's probably why you don't see as many people attempt it. You have to really be knowledgeable, but it's not easy like football, where there's a lot of breaks in between the plays and whatnot. Anybody can do football. Not everyone can do it well, though, but with baseball, it's definitely a little bit more difficult. 1-0 pitch, low and away to J.P. Crawford. 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, high and away with the four-seam fastball. 91 miles an hour, 2 balls and no strikes to J.P. Crawford. 2-0 pitch, fouled off right down the middle. 2 balls and 1 strike from Junis to Crawford. Yeah, and also, too, it's about, being as descriptive as possible. The speed, the type of pitch, the location, and doing the photos. So that way, people can kind of imagine, what's going on. And I'm trying to give you those visuals, and the pictures do tell a story. 2-1 pitch, low and away with the four-seam fastball, 91 miles an hour. 3 balls and 1 strike to J.P. Crawford. Yeah, and you got to enjoy what you do. This is my dream. I started my dream when I was in my late 20s, early 30s. I gave myself a 10-year plan, and, I've already been full-time on YouTube for 3 or 4 years, and this is my 13th year streaming, 9th on YouTube. Next year will be 14 years streaming, 10 on YouTube. So, again, you definitely have to love what you do, and that is out number 3. Down goes JP. Let's go to the bottom of the 7th inning and see who's up next here for the Guardians. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats for all the background music. Up and coming beat artist here in the Pacific Northwest. And I will always support my friends that have dreams and goals like myself. Next up, 0 for 2 with a K, first baseman CJ Kafus. Cool photo of him trying to dive for a ball out in the outfield there. Love it. Batting second, 0 for 2, right fielder Nolan Jones. And batting third, 1 for 2, second baseman Brian Rocchio. And another thing also, too, that people don't see behind the scenes, I'm always looking up, pronunciation, because there's so many different, cultures that are in baseball. You get white, you get black, you get Mexican, you get Dominican, you get Cuban, Puerto Rican, Canadian, European. So it's it's not as difficult as maybe hockey, where you're getting the Croatian, Russian, Slovakian names, and you really got to take a look. But, if I am always a little weary, I always make sure I look it up and try to phonetically, put it in next to the player. So that way that, we're getting not only the photos and we're also getting the pronunciation. So it's I do really take it serious, not only for the Mariners, but for every team that we end up covering. You want to make sure you're respecting the fan bases other than just the Mariners. First pitch from Kirby to Kafus. Takes a strike looking right down the middle, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, low and away with the knuckle curve by George Kirby, missing by an inch or two. 1 ball and 1 strike from Kirby to Kafis. Bottom of the 7th, 4-1, Mariner lead. 1-1 pitch, big swing and a miss, low and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Kirby to Kafis. And another thing is, like, I don't do just baseball. I do baseball, basketball, football, hockey, NASCAR, WWE, AEW. We've done boxing and UFC before. So literally there isn't really anything that we don't do. And I feel that's very, very rare nowadays. Most streamers, stick to like 1 or 2 things, or maybe just their team. And I feel that we have some of the most, versatility for a YouTube channel in the world. 2-2 pitch, big swing and a miss. And down goes Kafis, and that is 1 away. Nice job by George. He's at 87 pitches in the pitch count, so this may be the last inning, depending on where it falls. More than likely it will be. First pitch from Kirby to Nolan Jones, high and away. With the 4-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour. 1 ball and no strikes from Kirby to Jones. I appreciate that, Michael. 1-0 pitch, takes a strike looking high and away. 1 ball and 1 strike from Kirby to Jones. And I feel that, once you, put in the hard work and the dedication and the time, like I feel like I'm so comfortable, doing streams that I don't even have to watch the game to call a game. Like I wouldn't even actually have to have the game on. I could actually just refer to, stat pages only if I needed to. And I don't think that many people could do that either. So, it definitely has taken some time to get into a rhythm and whatnot. But again, we're definitely peaking at the right time and we're going in the right direction. 2-1 pitch, low and at the knees with the knuckle curve. 3 balls and 1 strike from Kirby to Jones. Bottom of the 7th inning, 4-1, Mariner lead. Kirby on the mound, Jones in the box. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 100 likes, 100 on the dono train, and 5 to 15 subs. Back, see ya! And Jones homers to center. Oh my. 4-2. Mariner lead. Come on now. And again, with 1 out, I wonder if we'll end up pulling George after that home run or not. Scoreboard hasn't updated, but it was a homer. Next up, second baseman Brian Arocchio. 1 for 2. All right, just updated now. Kirby's at 92 pitches, but at least, like we mentioned at the beginning of the stream, if he's going to give up 1 to 3 runs, hopefully they're just solo dingers, and luckily only 2 solo jacks that he's given up. So yeah, and it all depends on who we bring in. It's like not everyone has been that consistent or great lately, right? Brash, Bizzardo, Spire. We do have access to Emerson Hancock in the pen now, since we ended up, Sarin Lau ended up going back to AAA and whatnot. So we'll see where it goes. But hopefully they'll, end up making the correct move here. But remember, if you bring in, Brash, Bizzardo, or Spire, they could end up having the same thing happen. And first pitch to Rocchio, and he doubles to left. And, if you didn't pull him after the home run and you didn't pull him after Rocchio's double there, what are we doing? Nice double by Rocchio. Bottom of the 7th, 4-2 Mariner lead. And again, we need 1 or 2 more runs for insurance to feel good. And maybe now we'll make the move, or maybe not. Let's see how many pitches he's at. 93 pitches. And again, after giving up a home run and a double, it would make sense to pull him now. Probably should have pulled him after the home run, if we're really being honest. Most of the people in the room, I think, would agree. Bottom of the 7th inning, 4-2 Mariner lead. It's like, pull him already. He's already at 93 pitches. Decision time. What are we doing? Yeah, instant replay for sure. Anything that's even close to being hit at the line or not. All right, 2 away. Next up is Stephen Kwan. Kirby's at 96 pitches and he's in the 7th, so I don't really understand why we're still using Kirby at this point, but yeah, I can't wait for ABS either. It'll force the umps to actually like take their job serious, instead of just doing whatever they want at whatever given time. So all right, we hit 100. Let's see if we can get to 125 before the stream ends. Good job all day. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. We're at 15 on the dono train, 85 to go. First pitch from Kirby to Kwan. Fouls it off right down the middle. 0-1 count. And it shows you if you have a guy like Kirby going this long, that means that they don't really trust a lot of the guys in the pen, and deservedly so. Not like Brash, Bizzardo, and Spire have been great. They've been kind of straight, right? And then I don't know when we're going to see Emerson Hancock wheel and deal in the pen, but it's going to be exciting when he ends up getting a chance to see if he's better in that position than being a starter or being in AAA, and we'll see where it goes. And then obviously we know Munoz hasn't been greatest either. He's blown a few saves and also gotten close to blowing a few lately, but finding a way to give up a few hits, a few walks, and then finally getting that clutch out to win the game. And that's happened the last few times. 0-1 pitch in play, and Kwan flies out to center, and that is out number 3. End of the 7th inning, 4-2 Mariners, and again, George ends up giving up 2 solo jacks. We pull up by 2, and at least we're not tied up at this point, but a little bit of a meltdown, for Kirby there at the end. But again, his pitch count was getting close to that 100 number, and again, they probably should have pulled him after the home run, but at least it's still only 4-2 at this point. But now it's time to get to 5 or 6 for the Mariners, so that way we can extend our lead from 2 to 3 or possibly 4. And let's see if we actually have the guys to do it. Next up, 1 for 2 with a run, left fielder Randy Arozarena. Batting second, 0 for 1 with a run and 2 RBIs, catcher Cal Raleigh. Let's go Big Dumper. We're looking for home run number 51 if we can get it. And batting third, 1 for 3 with a run and an RBI, Julio Rodriguez. Trident's up. Let's go M's. Let's go, baby. Got to win this game. Look at George Kirby's final line. 7 innings pitched, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, no walks, which is very impressive. 6 Ks, but he had 3 in the first inning. And then 98 pitches, 64 strikes, 3.94 ERA. And
At least that's one or two less innings that we have to worry about someone fucking up. So, first pitch from Junis to Arozarena. Takes a strike, looking right down the middle, 0-1 count. Top of the 8th, 4-2 Mariner lead. Junis on the mound, Arozarena in the box. $89 subs to go to 21,700. Top of the 8th, 4-2 Mariner lead. Now, hopefully we get at least one more home run before the game ends. That would be nice. And if we're lucky, it'll be a 2-run blast or a 3-run jack to get us to 6 or 7. But at this point, we'll take anything. Solo dingers included. 0-1 pitch. And Randy with a big double to right. And he tries to go to third. What are you doing? And he's out. Come on. Randy, take the double. Why are you trying to stretch it to third when you can just take the double, man? Golly. Randy being thrown out twice on the base paths and Polo once. Like, again, if we would have had those guys safe, maybe the score is 6-2 right now. Come on, Randy. What are you doing? All that for nothing. Next up is Big Dumper, Cal Raleigh. Top of the 8th inning with nobody on and 1 out, 4-2 Mariner lead. And again, 3 individuals thrown out at the base paths. Randy twice in this game and Polo once. And at least Polo, ended up getting the 2-run blast. And Randy started off, the game with a double to get us, to that 4-0 lead. But man, we're definitely dropping the ball and fumbling the bag a little bit here. You got to be able to bunt. You got to be able to steal bags. And if you do get a hit, the last thing that you want is to get thrown out in between the base paths or at second or third. And unfortunately, 3 individuals, Randy twice and Polo once. That's unacceptable. Next up is Big Dumper, Cal Raleigh. Wasn't the base path. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 125 likes, 100 on the dono train, and 5 to 15 subs. Let's go, baby. Now they're trying to review everything here. All right, first pitch to Cal Raleigh, high and away, 1-0 count. Pitch, high and away with a slider, 81 miles an hour, 2 balls and no strikes from Junis to Big Dumper. 2-0 pitch, high and away, 3 balls and no strikes to Big Dumper, Cal Raleigh. 3-0 pitch, and Cal Raleigh with a good eye and a walk. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to look up the definition of blocking the plate, that play would have been in right there at the top. I mean, again, sometimes the umps are going to get it right and others maybe not so much. Next up is Julio Rodriguez. But again, for Dan Wilson and the rest of the coaching staff to be upset, I mean, definitely they have a right to be. But we have to be able to move forward. Sometimes things don't go your way, and, we got to make sure we stay focused here. First pitch to Julio Rodriguez, takes a strike looking right down the middle, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss. No balls and 2 strikes to Julio Rodriguez. And even though that, they did block the plate, he should have just stayed at second base. Should have never went to third, even to begin with. After already being thrown out once early in the game, we want to make sure, we keep anyone on base, single, doubles, whatever it may be. So. 0-2 pitch, big swing and a miss, low and at the knees, and that is 2 away. Next up is Eugenio Suarez. Let's go, Gino. First pitch to Gino. Takes a strike looking right down the middle, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch. Low and away with that slider. 1 ball and 1 strike to Eugenio Suarez. 1-1 pitch. Low and at the knees with the 4-seam fastball. 2 balls and 1 strike to Eugenio Suarez. Let's go, Gino. 2-1 pitch. 4-seam fastball, high and tight inside, 90 miles an hour there by Junis. 3 balls and 1 strike to Eugenio Suarez. Let's go, Gino. Good vibes only, baby. Let's go. Three-one pitch. In play and grounds out to the shortstop, throw to first, and that is out number 3. Brutal. All right, let's see who's up next here in the bottom of the 8th for the Cleveland Guardians. Next up, 0 for 3 with the K, center fielder Daniel Schneemann. Batting second, 1 for 3, third baseman Jose Ramirez. And batting third, 2 for 3 with a run, RBI and a K, DHing Kyle Manzardo. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. I mean, this team and the 2001 team are the best teams that we've ever had. I mean, top to bottom. And again, I feel like we're going to have many, many teams like this team that we have this year. You know, even if we don't re-sign Naylor or Gino, if they both end up going to different teams, you know, we have a great farm system, you know, in play. And, you know, again, I like, you know, kind of the future of where this team is going. And I can't wait until we get Cade, you know, in the starting lineup. We don't have any lefties. And, you know, we've had some in the past with like Jamie Moyer and, you know, a few guys that you might remember either starter or in the pen, Norm Charlton and whatnot. But, you know, to have a guy that could be, you know, taking, like, let's say, for example, Luis Castillo's spot and actually playing better than him, I can't wait. And then we got Brash coming in, and hopefully he doesn't fuck this game up. You know, he's been a little shaky as of late. First pitch from Brash to Schneemann. Swings right down the middle. Big swing and a miss. 0-1 count. Let's go, Brash. We need the good Brash, baby. 0-1 pitch, big swing and a miss, low and away. And this is the Brash that I like. No balls and 2 strikes to Daniel Schneemann, who is 0 for 2 with a K so far in the matchup. Or excuse me, 0 for 3. If he ends up going hitless here, it'll be 0 for 4. 0-2 pitch, and strike 3 looking right down the middle. There we go. Nice job by Brash, and that is 1 away. There we go, Matt, my boy. Bring that electricity, baby. Next up for Matt Brash is Jose Ramirez. First pitch from Brash to Ramirez, high and away with a 4-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour, 1-0 count. Bottom of the 8th, 4-2 Mariner lead with Brash on the mound, Jose Ramirez in the box. I mean, you know, he was lights out in the first half of the season, but after the All-Star break, it feels like all of the guys in the pen haven't been as trustworthy as they were in the first half, you know, including Munoz, our closer. You know, so it's like Munoz has been shaky, you know, Brash has been shaky, you know, even Bizzardo and Spire have been shaky. And, you know, obviously we got rid of some of the guys that struggled like Kowar and Legomina, and we've had others that got injured, you know, like Trent Thornton, thank God. But we still got Carlos Vargas on the squad, and that always makes me nervous, but, you know, it is what it is. 3-0 pitch, and that's 4 straight balls and a walk to Jose Ramirez. Come on, Brash. You got to be better, my guy. And I know you're coming off Tommy John, but you were great in the first half of the season, and you've been pretty shaky lately. Next up is Kyle Manzardo. Got to be careful with him. He ended up hitting a home run early in the matchup. Brash on the mound. Manzardo in the box. First pitch from Brash to Manzardo, low and at the knees with the slider, 1-0 count. Bottom of the 8th, 4-2 Mariner lead. Let's go. Come on, baby. Griffey wants it. Come on, baby. Bottom of the 8th, 4-2 Seattle lead. First pitch from Brash to Manzardo, low and at the knees with the slider, 1-0 count. Bottom of the 8th with a runner at first and 1 out. We need a slow dribbler right up the middle for a double play, if we can get it. 1-0 pitch, high and tight inside, almost hits the batter, Manzardo. 2 balls and no strikes from Brash to Manzardo. Come on, baby. No, Freddie was a righty. But Jamie Moyer, Norm Charlton, Randy Johnson, you know, there are a couple. But we haven't had like a starter, you know, lefty, it feels like in a long time that was good. And, you know, I can't wait for Cade Anderson. Even Durangelo pitching from the right side and the left side. It's going to be super exciting. 2-1 pitch, high and away. 3 balls and 1 strike to Kyle Manzardo. Bottom of the 8th, 4-2 Seattle lead. Come on, baby. Get out of this jam, Brash. Three-one pitch and another walk. See? And Brash used to be lights out in the first half, but honestly, I don't trust him anymore. You know, like I feel like I think I trust Bizzardo more than Brash, and I think I even trust maybe even Spire, who's hit or miss, more than Brash at this moment. You know, right now, even though Brash was our 1, you know, now he's probably our 3. It probably goes Bizzardo, Spire, then him lately, even though he's got the skill set to be like the 1 in the pen. But Everyone has been kind of shaky lately. And even Munoz, has been shaky, but he's blown a couple saves, but he's gotten close to blowing a couple lately, but finding a way to get that last out and saving us. So, but don't like what I'm seeing. I would have been better off throwing Emerson Hancock out there and seeing what he could do. I mean, we brought him up to put him in the pen, and I know they're doing it based off Brash's reputation, but golly, hasn't been good lately. First pitch from Brash to Naylor, takes a strike looking high and inside, 0-1 count. Naylor in the box and Brash on the mound. And I don't know if he's injured and he's just not saying anything, or he's just going through the ups and the downs mentally and whatnot, losing a little confidence in his abilities. I don't know what it is, but definitely not the same type of bullpen pitcher that was lights out in the first half of the season. He definitely has been hittable and hasn't been as sharp, with his strikes, obviously, in his opportunities lately. 0-1 pitch in play. And fielder's choice, runner is out, and Ramirez to third. That is 2 away. Now we got runners on the corners at first and third with 2 outs. Next up is Angel Martinez. First pitch to Martinez, takes a strike looking right down the middle, 0-1 count. Martinez in the box. Brash on the mound. Come on, Matt. And I guess if you're going to fuck up, and give up a couple hits or walks here and there, just don't give up the RBI or the home run. Keep the runners on base. 0-1 pitch, low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike to Martinez. 1-1 pitch, big swing and a miss by Martinez. Low and away with that slider. Great pitch by Brash. 1 ball and 2 strikes with runners on the corners at first and third and 2 outs. 4-2 Mariner lead. Come on, baby. Dig deep, Brash. 1-2 pitch, low and away. And you already know when certain guys are on or off. Brash, Bizzardo, Spire, and Mooney. If you're throwing 5 feet off the plate multiple times in an at-bat, you know that they're not really on point. And a little scary. Hopefully we can get out of this. Bottom of the 8th, runners on the corners at first and third with 2 outs. We scored 4 runs in the first inning, but nothing since. And the Guardians are slowly but surely, trying to make the comeback. 2-2 pitch, in play. Fucking A, Brash. And Martinez reached on a single to the shortstop. Ramirez scored. Naylor to second. And just like that, 4-3 Mariners. Come on. That's why I didn't want him to come into the game. He was amazing in the first half, but you're not trustworthy. You're probably the 3rd or 4th guy that is trustworthy at this point. Your skill set is a 1, but your trust level is at a fucking 0. Jesus. Next up, in the 7 hole, DJ Kafus. Runners at first and second now with 2 outs, and if we're not careful, they're going to take the lead, and I don't know if we'll be able to come back. Terrible. First pitch from Brash to Kafus, takes a strike looking right down the middle, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, high and away with the changeup, missing the strike zone by a few feet again. 1 ball and 1 strike to CJ Kafus. Come on, baby. I mean, in the first half of the season, Brash and Munoz were unhittable. ERAs were at fucking 0, forever. 50 plus games in, no one could hit either one. And then now it's a completely different story. Almost you have to hold your breath when those guys come into the game. 1-1 pitch, fouled off right down the middle. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Brash to Kafus. 1-2 pitch, high and away, missing the corner by a few inches. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Brash to Kafus. Bottom of the 8th, runners at first and second with 2 outs. And Mariners just desperately trying to hang on to this 1-run lead now. And there we go. And that is strike 3. Finally. There we go, Brash. Down goes Kafus, but not after they make a little bit of a rally. And instead of being up 4-2, now it's 4-3. And hopefully we can get at least a run here in the 9th to give us a little insurance, because if we don't, and it stays 4-3 and we have someone fuck up in the pen, they could tie it up or win the game in regulation or in extras. And I can't have that after being up 4-0 in the first inning. Come on. Be better. Next up for the Mariners, 0-for-3 with a K. First baseman Josh Naylor. We need a single out of you or a walk. Let's go. Obviously, a home run would be best case scenario. Batting second, 2-for-3 with a run and 2 RBIs, having himself a day. Jorge Polanco. Come on, my guy. You might have to be the hero. And batting third, 1-for-3 with a single early in the matchup, catcher Mitch Garver. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. All right, we're at 113 on the likes. We need 12 more to hit the goal. Now we need 11 more, and we have 60-plus people that haven't hit the like button. So if we can get 11 out of the 60, we'll hit our goal for the stream. Let's go. People in the room, in the chat can help with that as well. End of the 8th inning. We're going to the top of the 9th. 4-3 Mariner lead. Heron is coming in for Junis. Tim Heron. First pitch from Heron to Naylor, low and away. 1-0 count. Top of the 9th, 4-3 Mariner lead. Tim Heron on the mound and Josh Naylor in the box. Let's go, Nails. Come on, Josh. One 0 pitch in play, and Naylor finally getting a single. He says, I'm not going to go 0-for-4 or 0-for-5. Nice job by Naylor getting on base with a beautiful single to right. Great job. Next up is Jorge Polanco, who's been a hero for us within the last few games. He's starting to heat up again. First pitch from Heron to Polo, high and away, 1-0 count. And if there was ever a time that we needed a fucking meltdown, it would be right now. Obviously, a slight meltdown by Brash, and we need a meltdown by Heron so we can end up going up 5-3 going into the bottom of the 9th or better. Heron on the mound, Polo in the box. One 0 pitch. And Polo grounds out into the double play. Throw to second and got him. Damn it. And that is 2 away. And last but not least, unless he ends up getting a hit to keep this rally going with 2 outs, catcher Mitch Garver. On deck, Dominic Canzone, unless they have someone come in and pinch hit for him. Come on, Garv. First pitch to Mitch Garver, takes a strike looking right down the middle from Heron. 0-1 count. Come on, Mitch. 0-1 pitch, takes a strike looking right down the middle. No balls and 2 strikes from Heron to Garver. I mean, this would be a great time for him to, pull a home run out of his ass to give us that, 5-3 lead, but I don't feel it here. Sometimes I'll have those, kind of, feelings and whatnot. Sometimes I'll be right. Sometimes, no one's 100% right all the time, but, we'll see. 0-2 pitch, but he does get a single, and I will take that. Nice job by Mitch Garver there. My boy. Didn't feel like a home run at bat, but I'm happy that he ends up going with 2 hits today. We'll take that, especially for Mitch Garver. And now we're going to have Rayleigh running for Garv, a little bit more speed. I like that. Next up is Dominic Canzone. Best case scenario would be a 2-run blast and a Dom bomb. And if he does that, we win the game. First pitch to Dominic Canzone, takes a strike looking high and inside. 0-1 count. Come on, Dom. Heron on the mound. Dominic Canzone in the box. Give me that Dom bomb, baby. We'll take a single, a double, an RBI, a home run. Just anything that we can get to 5 or 6 if we can. 0-1 pitch. Takes a strike swinging. Big swing and a miss. Low and away. No balls and 2 strikes to Dominic Canzone. Come on, Dom. Yeah, Schwarber, 4 home runs in a game. Same thing with Kurtz and Gino this year as well. First time we've had 3 players in a season hit 4 in a game. And the way that Schwarber was playing, hell, it felt like he was going to hit 5. He was on fire. Top of the 9th, 4-3 Mariner lead. Runner at first. Mitch Garver with a nice, beautiful single. And we got an 0-2 pitch in play. And Canzone with a single to center. There we go. Nice job, Dom. It might have not been a Dom bomb, but hey, we'll take a single by Canzone and a single by Garv with 2 outs. Hell yeah. Next up, ice water in his veins, J.P. Crawford with 1 swing. It could be game over. Let's see if we can get something here out of J.P. Come on now. You're 0 for 3 with 2 Ks. Let's not go 0 for 4. Naylor decided that he didn't want to go with a donut. Let's see if we can go and get a big single, double, triple, or home run out of J.P. Crawford. Let's go. Come on, J.P. Give me that swagger. Give me that energy. Heron on the mound. J.P. Crawford in the box. Let's go, J.P. We got 4 different photos of J.P. If that can't motivate him, I don't know what will. Come on now. First pitch from Heron to J.P. Takes a strike looking high and away. Good pitch there by Heron, painting the corner with the 4-seam fastball. 0-1 count. Top of the 9th, 4-3 Seattle lead with 4 runs scored in the first inning by Seattle, but nothing since, and all the momentum has shifted to the Guardians, and we're trying to fight back now. 0-1 pitch, takes a strike looking right down the middle. No balls and 2 strikes to J.P. Crawford. Come on, J.P. Find a way to get a single or a double. See if we can get an RBI here. Obviously, unless he can get the, unexpected home run. If he does that, then we go up 7-3 and the game is over, essentially. 0-2 pitch, low and at the knees with the curveball by Heron. 1 ball and 2 strikes with runners at first and second and 2 outs. See if we can get a single or double by JP. I mean, I'll even take bases loaded for Randy Arozarena, but, Randy's been thrown out in between the base paths twice. The last one, obviously, was kind of questionable, blocking the plate and whatnot at third, but he should have just stayed at second instead of trying to get greedy and go for 3, but, it is what it is. Makes you kind of wonder if he didn't get thrown out twice on the base paths and Polo once, maybe the score is 5-3 right now, maybe even higher. Bottom of the 9th, 4-3 Mariner lead, runners at first and second. 1-2 pitch in play, and Crawford fouls out at third base, and that is unfortunately out number 3. We leave 2 stranded, and now we have to pray that we don't give up a run or 2, and it doesn't go to extras, or we end up not having a walk-off by the Guardians. Let's see who's up next for Cleveland, and hopefully we can hang on. Next up for the Guardians, 1 for 3 with a run and an RBI, right fielder Nolan Jones. Batting second, 1 for 3 in the 9-hole, second baseman Brian Arroquio. And batting third, 1 for 4, left fielder Stephen Kwan. Trident's up. Let's go M's. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 125 to 150 likes. We're still looking at trying to get to 100 on the dono train. I think we're at 15 to 20, and we're looking for 5 to 15 subs. We've already hit the first. Let's see if we can end up getting the second. Let's go. Gained a few more subs. 88 subs now to go to 21,700. Shout out to all the new subs that we've acquired here today. Yeah, JP's got good defense, but he's not that good of a hitter. You know, obviously our leadoff hitter, you know, and Victor Robles is a better player, you know, but I mean, if you're looking at shortstops that, you know, dominate the game, you look at guys like Trey Turner and Francisco Lindor and what they did to us. Like, imagine if we had something like that leading off, how much better the team would be. Now, obviously, you know, defensively, there's going to be moments where Lindor and Turner fuck up, just like JP. Every player will fuck up once in a while defensively, and some guys are better at defense than others. But, you know, based on Turner and Lindor's bat, that's a hell of a lot better than what we have, you know, with JP. But JP's no longer leading off, and I think it works better for him being in the 8 or the 9 hole anyways. All right, Andres Munoz is coming in, and hopefully we get the good Munoz, not the bad Munoz. I can't take a fucking loss after being up 4-0, and hopefully Andres will be good here today. Munoz on the mound, Nolan Jones in the box. Come on, baby. Yeah, and I don't think anyone thinks JP is overrated. If anything, JP is probably a little underrated, but it's, you know, he's a real streaky player. It's consistency. You know, sometimes he'll have a 15 to 20 game hit streak, and then other times he'll go 0 for 4, 0 for 5, 3 games in a row. It's, you know, kind of nothing really in between. So hopefully we get the good version of JP, you know, defensively and offensively at the back end of the season. First pitch from Mooney to Jones, low and away. Should have been strike, but called ball. Bad call there by the ump, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, takes a strike looking in the same spot. Make-up call there with the slider. 1 ball and 1 strike, should be no balls and 2 strikes to Nolan Jones. Come on, Mooney. And the umping hasn't been terrible. You know, it hasn't been, you know, too many missed calls, probably about 3 or 4 each, you know, in the box called ball instead of strike, but, you know. 1-1 pitch, fouled off, high and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Munoz to Jones. And at least all of Munoz's pitches have been in the box, not 5 feet away, you know, low and away or high and away. So at least that we have that going for us. Flying Monk with a 5er. Appreciate you. Stacks, Racks with a little Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. Thank you so much. We're at 20, 80 to go for the dono goal. Bottom of the 9th, 4-3 Mariner lead. Andres Munoz on the mound. Jones in the box. 1-2 pitch. And Munoz gives up a big double to Nolan Jones and safe. Come on, Munoz. Sick and tired of our pitching staff and our bullpen just shitting the bed. Come on. Especially when he's one of the best in the world at what he does. It's just hard to see. Same thing with Brash. I mean, doesn't look like the same guy anymore. Next up, second baseman in the 9 hole, 1 for 3, Brian Arroquio. We need a strikeout and a double play, or a double play and a strikeout. Come on now. Dig deep now. First pitch from Mooney to Arroquio, and he bunts foul, trying to move the runner over to third. 0-1 count. And they were successful in a bunt attempt early in the matchup. 0-1 pitch, low and away with the changeup. 1 ball and 1 strike from Mooney to Arroquio. Oh. One pitch. Uh-oh. Low and away. Missing the strike zone by about 3, 4, 5 feet on back-to-back pitches. Change up and slider. 2 balls and 1 strike from Munoz to Arroquio. Come on now. Bottom of the 9th. We're only up by a run. Oh. 2-1 pitch. Fouled off, high and tight inside. Thank God. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Munoz to Rocchio. We got to find a way to get this out. Come on now. Bottom of the 9th, runner at second with no outs. We're up by 1. And again, we don't need a meltdown here by Mooney. Kirby started to get a little bit fatigued and gave up a couple solo dingers. And obviously Brash didn't look very good. And you haven't seen Bizzardo or Spire. And Emerson Hancock is available in the pen. But we'll see what happens here. 2 balls and 2 strikes with a runner at second and no outs. Can't lose this game when we had a 4-0 lead in the first inning. Yeah, things are never easy. It's always chaos for us. Two-two pitch, and just like that, Mooney fucks it up. Big single to left. Jones scores on the error. Unbelievable. And just like that, the game is tied 4-4 with a runner at third and no outs. We lost. Game is over. I mean, it's going to be almost impossible to keep that runner at third. I mean, it's not like we're going to get a triple play, but realistically, they're probably going to get 1 batter out of 3 to hit it deep enough for him to tag up from third and score. What a fucking meltdown. I'm sick and tired of fucking the guys having meltdowns, man. And we did so good early on. But again, Randy and Polo getting thrown out, in the base paths kind of cost us. It's not like we really did anything after the first inning. We scored 4. And again, getting thrown out in between the base paths 3 times, ain't going to cut it, man. Fucking A. Oh. I mean, is it possible that he gets, 3 straight Ks or a K, a pop-up and a ground out, and then we end up going into extra innings and winning 5-4? Yeah, I mean, it is still possible that we could end up having a miracle and we could come back and win, but the fuck, man? What are you doing, Randy? First pitch from Munoz to Kwan. Pitch is low and at the knees, 1-0 count. One-0 pitch, fouled off, low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike from Munoz to Kwan. But it definitely shows you, how important, pitching is. Not only starting pitching, but bullpen as well. One-0 count, fouled off, low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike to Stephen Kwan. Bottom of the 9th, 4-4 tie with no outs and a runner at third. And if we keep playing like this, we're not going to get to 90 wins. We're going to be in that like 87 to 89 range. And we're not going to win the division over the Stros. We'll make the playoffs as a wild card team, but these are the type of games you have to win, especially being up 4-0 in the first inning. Unacceptable. 1-1 pitch, fouled off, high and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Munoz to Kwan. Yeah, Kirby definitely deserved the win, and that's the, kind of, the shitty part of it all. It's like when you get someone that played well, and then you have guys like Brash and Mooney that aren't trustworthy anymore, I mean, even Bizzardo and Spire have, and Spire has always been up and down. Bizzardo has probably been the most trustworthy guy in the pen all year, but even Bizzardo has had a few fuck-ups after the All-Star break also, so. Bottom of the 9th, 4-4, Mariners and Guardians. Munoz on the mound, Kwan in the box. 1-2 pitch, and sac fly, tagged up from third, and that is the game. Final score, Guardians 5, Seattle Mariners 4. Unfucking believable, dude. Oh. And the emotions that you have with this team, and this isn't going to be something that happens often, where we have a 4-0 lead in the first inning and we blow it. But again, I really do think that the reason that things could have been different, Randy getting a little bit too greedy, trying to make a triple out of a double. If he would have stayed, maybe we end up getting to 5 or 6. And, we had 3 guys thrown out, trying to stretch plays from first to second to third, or trying to steal a bag. Randy got thrown out twice, Polo once. if you're not going to bunt and you're not going to be able to steal bags efficiently and you're going to have meltdowns in the pen by Brash and Munoz, then this is what fucking happens. So, man, brutal. But again, I think that we will be able to come back tomorrow, and tomorrow will be a busy day. Montana State versus the Oregon Ducks at 1, and then the game for the Mariners starts at 4:15 on Fox, I believe. So I'll probably cut the Duck stream short a little bit to prep for the Mariners stream, but I'm going to end up doing both, and hopefully we don't have the same type of outcome that we had here today. But a big win for the Guardians. Shout out to their fan base. And again, we definitely need to figure out, what's going on with our bullpen, because, guys that were very trustworthy in Brash and Mooney in the first half of the season have become untrustworthy here lately. And again, if we want to be able to make a deep run, we cannot have games like this happen. And, obviously being 31-35 on the road, now 31-36, that is not going to cut it. So love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very much. Shout out to all the people that sub, donated, commented, and shared. But again, I'll start streaming tomorrow at 1 to about 4, and that'll be for the Duck game against Montana State. And then if I cut it early with maybe 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, I assume the Ducks will be up by 10 or 20 at that point. And then I'll prep for the Mariner game against the Guardians. That'll start around 4:15 to 7:15. So I will be in the chair for about 7 hours straight tomorrow, and I'm going to wake up early and watch Ohio State and Texas, which I recommend everyone watching if you're a college football fan. It's going to be one of the best games of the year on the first week of the season. So definitely excited about that, to see Arch Manning and to see all of the great players like Jeremiah Smith on the Buckeyes. So love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. Final score, Guardians 5, Mariners 4. And I got one question for you. Who talk sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics. Trident's up, and I'm out. Go Mariners.